much, especially that person that kept clapping an awkward amount of time. Woo! Wow, it's that time of the year. Okay, and another awkward slow clap right there. There we go. You guys are all on the same pages, huh? You guys can probably tell from my very wobbly entrance, but I have been hitting that special holiday eggnog so hard to get into the holiday spirit. Got any fans of eggnog out there today?
No.
Wow, more children than I thought. That's all right. Oh, it just makes me want to break out into song. Juggernauts are roasting on a human torch. Are you guys ready for a festive seasonal tale full of Yuletide cheer? All right, that's good to hear because I certainly have one to tell. Today's story is a classic holiday tale of good and evil, filled with greed, a very rich mahogany four-poster bed, and a bunch of hideous mutants and spooky ghosts. Yeah, it's kind of a creepy choice for a Christmas story, huh? Probably should have done this one over Oogie Boogie Bash, but we weren't hired yet at that point. Anyway, for today's story, we've got a mandatory costume change. I'm gonna let my hair down a little bit. All right, let me just put this on my little Merc on the woodwork here, looking good. Why do we have a costume change, you ask? Because for today's story, we travel back in time, all the way back to jolly old England for a dignified holiday tale written by Sir Mr. Charles Xavier Dickens. Oh, you've heard of him? Yeah, it's one of my favorites. It's called A Christmas Carol. Cool. That was an applause cue, guys. Come on. And thank you to the Wolverine variant over there for being the only person to laugh at that. Jeez. Anyway, I'm very excited about this story, everyone. It's very rare that I get to sink my teeth into something as holly and jolly as a festive seasonal tale. Oh, Christmas stories are always filled with such positive messaging, hope, goodwill, and light. Anyway, page 1, line 1. Marley was dead. Wow, that was a dark start. Okay, that is legitimately the first line of the story. I don't really think the Disneyland Resort registered trademark really signed up for all of that language. Let me just skip ahead to the less morbid parts. Okay, let's see here. Okay, dead, very dead. Dead as a doornail, dead beyond a Thanos snap. Well, that is really dead. Oh, here we go. Here's a very nice, positive, and uplifting, joyous sentence. The meanest old curmudgeon in all of London town was a vile, hairy, ugly, smelly, prickly, miserly old brute by the name Loganizer Scrooge. Oh, Scroogey really did not like the holidays, let me tell you. He always went around saying, bah, humbug, bub. I don't know what that's supposed to mean either, tiny child in the front row, but he did have a very handsome, funny, and just extremely witty, although a bit of an acquired taste, I will admit, employee by the name Wade Cratchit Pool. Just came up with that on the fly. Thank you for laughing, two people over there. Anyway, poor old Wade, he just wanted to enjoy the holiday season and spend literally a single day off in his entire working career. But old Scroogey was always like, shut up, bub, and get back to work and count me money, all right? Come on. Oh, you're ready to throw a little shrimp on the barbie wall, aren't you? He was so mean, so hairy and so miserly, and strangely Australian. But because old Loganizer was such a naughty little mutant, he was visited in the night by one of his super dead partners. One of his ex-partners. He was an X-Men, oh my goodness. Anyway, this ghost tells him that he will later be visited by 3 more ghosts who will herald his beginning and herald his end. This troubled Scroogey not only because he didn't know who Harold was, but he was very, very afraid of ghosts. He went to sleep feeling very uneasy, kind of like when you have one too many chimichangas before bedtime time. Suddenly, a bright light shone through his window. He sauntered over, just as ugly and miserly and old as he was, ripped open the blinds and saw that it was none other than Johnny Storm, all flamey and bright. Not Steve Rogers like we all clearly wanted, but that's all right. Pretty much everything he said actually was filled with vulgarities that I quite honestly cannot repeat here in front of the Disneyland Resort registered trademark. Seriously, he was speaking in languages I've never even heard before, that little silver-tongued devil. But he essentially showed Scroogey his sad past, his sad origins. All right, that's like 16 people that have seen that movie. It's actually a new record, believe it or not. Then, the Ghost of Christmas Present showed up. And wow, it was just this giant, child-minded figure, way larger than a normal man should be, with a body made completely out of metal and a very obnoxious Russian accent. Sounded a little something like this. Lokanizar Scrooge, gaze upon the Cratchit pool family and see your shame. I know that was a terrible accent. I have the same dialect coach as Gambit, okay? Give me a break. Oh, don't say he sounds like he has a mouthful of marbles. He shares the same dialect coach as Stitch, by the way. Anyway, he shows them a portrait of a beautiful Cratchit Pool family living in a small but humble studio apartment off of Pico and Crenshaw. Blind Owl was there, Dog Pool, and of course, tiny little Peter Pool, who was clearly just sickeningly ill and leaning on a too small crutch. They could barely get by on the meager salary that Wade's boss had given him. It was really a pathetic sight. So pathetic, in fact, that it caused Loganezer Scrooge to feel the first genuine, true emotion he has ever felt in the hundreds of years he's been living on this planet. So emotional, in fact, that a single salty tear began to trickle down his chiseled, mewing jawline, soaking into his luscious, homegrown mutton chops. It was like the ending of a perfect rom-com. Like the proposal. And then the Ghost of Christmas Days of Future Past showed up, and you know what? I'm not actually gonna go into all that. It gets very confusing. The timeline gets all convoluted. It quite honestly almost ruined the franchise, but these ghosts essentially show Scroogey that he needs to keep the spirit of the season deep inside of his heart, all year round, and basically to stop being such a furry little jerk all the time. Meanwhile, tiny little Peter Pool narrowly escapes the jaws of death because Scroogey pays to get his little legs healed and they become sugar plum chums. You're recording for this, right? This is my favorite part of the story. Then, tiny little Peter Pool, with his newly refurbished legs, begins to waddle over, all the way to center stage. He then grips Logie by his very muscular inner thigh muscles, you'll just have to take my word for it, and exclaims for all to hear, "Oh God of thunder, bless us, everyone." Let me tell you, there was not a dry eye in the Cratchit Pool house, okay? In fact, the house was soaking wet with tears, and they all lived, say it with me everybody, happily ever after. Applause cue. Do you want to know why they lived happily ever after? Tiny little toddler in the front row. This is probably your first memory, isn't it? Yeah. It's because this story in particular, no, don't cry, this is a life lesson. This story in particular has been rehashed and merchandised dozens of times over the years. Dozens, really, at least like 6 or 7 times. It's what we like to, you guys doing? I don't understand the reference, sorry. It's what we like to call in the business, easy money. All right. Everyone seems to like that joke, except for that crying child I just terrified in the front row. Yeah, that definitely was his first memory. Sorry, it was kind of a gruesome one, little guy. Anyway, thank you everyone for joining me for a special holiday story time. I actually prepared a little bit of a fruitcake special for you guys backstage, and I was gonna bring them out, but I can smell something burning, and I'm actually hoping it's the fruitcakes, because it's either those or my contract. Happy holidays, everybody! Bye! Bye! Oh, I got distracted. They said that they love me. I'd never heard that before. Oh, is that a Punisher shirt? All right. Obi loves to punish me. Oh, hello, child. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Oh, is that a birthday? I can sense there's a birthday here. It's not because she's wearing a pin. It's because I'm omniscient, all right? Happy holidays, everybody. I'm sorry, tiny child. Oh, he is just streaming tears down his face. Selfie time, all right. Like the Chewbacca shirt, he's very furry, kind of like my friend Wolverine. Oh my goodness, a gift for me. Thank you, Wolverine variant. The Wolverine that I work with, he never gives me gifts. You're my favorite Loki now. Bye. Hope you enjoyed that Stitch reference. Well, anyway, this is a little awkward, right? So why don't you guys cheer me as I exit the stage? Stop it. Keep going.